Hey, what's the matter, you?
Left a good job in the city, working on demand every night and day. And I never paused for a minute of sleeping, worried about the way things might have been. Two wheels keep on turning, Cranberry keep on burning, rolling,
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 rolling.
rolling down the river.
Guido!
Woo!
Yay! All right, well, this episode is going to be about gaming, just a snapshot about gaming. So I'm going to take over the screen.
Gaming?
I love gaming.
Oh, did I share the wrong thing? Hold on a second. All right. You seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, that's not right. Okay. So this is Gaming 2026, just a snapshot of what's happening. These are some statistics. Global players, so 3.6 billion people play games worldwide. That's unique human beings. If you break it down by platform, 3 billion for mobile, 936 million for PC, consoles 645 million. In the United States, 205 million Americans play video games regularly.
You can kind of see here that really mobile blew the doors off. I mean, 3 billion. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't total up to 3.6. Somebody's mad.
I asked the same question of thing, and it says because that the 3.6 is unique human beings, the other one's broken by platform. So people could have multiple devices. People could have, so
good point. Yeah, he's got you there, Joe.
That's unbelievable. The amount. It's how many is 8 billion? You're saying almost 40% of the world plays games. Holy crap!
I mean, I have a silly game that I've played now mostly on the can, but not always. I have this cell phone game, Mech Arena, that I've played now for years, and I spend money on it. Usually it's like Christmas, I'll get a gift card or whatever, a game gift card or whatever, and I'll blow it on the stupid cell phone game.
Is that like a strategy or RPG? What is it?
No, it's Mech Arena where mechs fight six on six. It's kind of like a shooter game, but it's a shooter game with mechs, right?
That's wild. Cool.
You're still playing that? What are you, like, top 10 in the world? You've got you've been playing that for years.
I'm not top 10 in the world, but yes, I've been playing for a while. I'm pretty. Yeah. I got a pretty good squad.
I can't believe some of our nephews were playing that RuneScape game, which is I guess that's like an RPG strategy game. They've been playing that since the 90s, right? Or was that 2000, early 2000s, Joe? That RuneScape that the nephews play. That's
Brian had so much, and he had given it to Edward. He had an enormous amount of money on it. They took away gambling from it. There was this 50-50 game that you could play on that, and everybody was going in and playing it where you could bet 50%. It was 50-50 odds, and it blew up, and they had to cancel that because there were so many people that were betting that 50% odds on something that you could win in it. He lost probably, so he claims, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars because he gave that away because he said he wanted to stop doing it. It was becoming obsessive. Now he's back in it, and I see it. He's got it on his phone, on his laptop. It's always doing something, even when he's not doing something.
Wow.
It's mining. It's killing. I've never seen anything like it. But
Wow.
no, we're not obsessed.
That's wild.
Not obsessed.
Well, just as an aside on that, as we're getting at here, I mean, especially an immersive game like that. When you think of Meta, look at Facebook. Facebook changed the name of their company to talk about the metaverse, right? There's obviously been big sci-fi. It's a big sci-fi. It's a sci-fi genre in and of itself. Like next week, I'm going to talk about the zombie genre, and I have other genres I like, but I used to like the zombie genres with the kids, and it's a whole genre of entertainment that has expanded over the years and changed and morphed. My point being, when you think about the immersion and you think about where sci-fi games where sci-fi movies like Ready Player One and the metaverse and books like Snow Crash, which are famous relating to the metaverse, even Neuromancer, Apple TV's getting ready to produce Neuromancer, which was, the first cyberpunk one. So anyway, my point being, these things are morphing entertainment, education, and world building. And the latest thing, just to tie it into AI, the latest thing in AI is, if you think about these simulations and how sophisticated they're getting in terms of economies and physics and world building, they want these AI machines to be able to build worlds like that, so it can reason, it can simulate things before they happen and then reason on it using realistic simulation. They call these world models, and that's sort of the next phase of AI.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also heard something with all the they call them NPCs, like the characters that are walking around in the world. Those will be run by AI.
Characters, right?
The AI will be able to talk like in a normal way, like not have a script and stuff.
That's Mike, cool. What was the name of that book, just quickly?
Which one? Snow Crash? Snow Crash. Snow Crash as well. Two, Snow Crash and then Neuromancer. But Snow Crash is a really good book. I'm
looking for another book.
I'll think of the author in a minute. It's
I'll check it out.
Yeah, anyway.
I'll look it up. Thanks.
Just to continue on, and with consoles, PlayStation 5 is killing it. So they got about 50% of the market share with 323 million. Nintendo's got about 35% at 226 million. Xbox is about 15% with 96 million. Xbox also.
I should have had a guest here. I should have invited my son Gregory, because believe me, he could give us the rundown on all the nuances here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this war, it's sort of, I guess they call it the console wars and stuff. It's been going on now for decades, but
I'm so surprised Xbox is last.
And Xbox came out with a handheld now too, which is interesting, because handhelds kind of blew up over the last few years. A lot of like retro and a lot of like Steam Deck. Steam is owned by Valve. Valve is a gaming company that released this thing, and it's sort of like a handheld PC, and it's pretty cool. But,
it's going to be interesting to see how Steam plays into this, right? Steam Deck is pretty new, but Steam, as far as the game distribution, like, you didn't add PC on here. Like, PC is the number one, I think.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but most games also come out for the PC. Yeah. And Steam is for PC game distribution.
Definitely. Yeah. Then there's kind of, people call them a monopoly. Now there are one or two other ones that are, but they're just not as. Epic Games came out with them, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just not as good. People only want to have one. They call it a launcher, and the launcher is where all your games launch from. And pretty much everyone uses Steam.
Right. Yeah. Now they've been number one for a while now. The weird thing about Steam, even relating to the zombie genre I was going to tell you about, they were the ones behind a game called Left 4 Dead. And there was another game before that, Final Strike. Anyway, Steam had a few games. They started out as like a game company.
Yeah.
And they had a few very popular games. And people have studied this company now for years. It is a very weird company, like totally flat, does all these weird things around ownership and creativity, and very weird company.
And they're pretty small. It's not a huge amount.
I don't
They
even
should
know what
hire
that
more
is.
people and develop games again, you know?
What did they do? What do you mean they launch? They launch
So it's
Steam.
like a store. It's like it's not only is it a store, it's a place where you keep, your game
You have a
library.
library. People can do gift cards. Like I've had a Steam account for years, and a lot of times my boys would buy me a gift card from Steam so I could buy a PC game and download it to my PC.
Right.
So it's a store. Okay.
But
Pretty
it's
much.
also it launches it's sort of like a centralized, I don't know, application where it launches, all the games get downloaded and then they launch from that central application that manages where you were, it keeps your statistics, it has all the things like that.
Well, as an example, like I had a library on Steam. I still have it on Steam. I got a new PC. I can re-download all the games again because they stay like active on their library or something like that.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy. Apple Vision Pro is 3,500.
Yeah.
That better be like you feel it.
So the VR, AR, augmented reality headsets, they're just a very small percentage. Only 1 million sold. The Meta Quest 3, 3S. Sony has one, the VR2, which I hear is pretty good. And then Apple came out with one. It's supposedly very good. It's just silly expensive. And then I think they actually just said that they're going to stop. I don't think they're going to move forward. They had a second one that they were going to, or they might try and rework it to be like a cheaper version or something. I don't know.
I think this is a great example of there's been a lot of technologies where a future technology will not take off in the mainstream until all the stars align. In other words, it's not just about cost is one factor, functionality is one factor, killer game, distribution, blah, blah, blah. There's all these things, whether it's driverless cars or flying cars, flying taxis, any futuristic technology that you think of, there's at least 4 or 5 things that have to be done to get it right. Like take AR headsets. The software has been garbage for years. I remember in 1988 going to an arcade. I was a software developer. We actually had a field trip where we went to the arcade to play one of the first VR games that was out. It was all blocky and stuff, but you put the goggles on and it had a circle around you and you had a gun. It was, it was cool, but it was one of the first ones. And that was in 87, 88.
Wow.
Well, they've been trying to get VR, AR right for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I know that I've played with Christian, and there are setbacks with our human brain. Mine, it's hard. You can only play for a certain amount of time. You start to lose it. You come out of it after a certain amount of time, and you're really like, "Whoa, man! I got to get back to jumping a lot in that world." You get like sort of disoriented, also. Like I couldn't play long. You had to keep playing, like to get used to going in and out of that world. It is very different. It's just, again, I don't know.
Just so
I
you
can't
guys
watch a
know,
movie.
we've played Greg's right on the PlayStation, and it's fun. They got a bunch of fun games. The fun ones were the simple ones, some kind of target ones where people were running at you or something like that. But we got Dad and Teresa on there playing.
Nice.
So Dad got to try
Over?
VR. I forget when it was, one Christmas or something. Anyway, but yeah, Dad and Teresa actually tried the VR on PlayStation.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's so cool. Interesting.
I will say though, like I like the mixed reality. I know there's certain times like in gaming throughout my life where I was like, whoa. And like you really felt like you're on the cusp of like I'm in the future type of thing. Like this is futuristic. And playing the mixed reality games where it's like, you see the room and then there's something that basically it's like a holographic and you can manipulate it with the thing. I mean, hairs were tingling on the back of my head. That's pretty amazing.
That's what I enjoyed. I don't know what you want to call that. You called it mixed reality, where you're still in your room,
Yeah.
but then there are these bouncing fuzzy things, and you got to shoot them all, and you're shooting them into that. Brian loved, his girlfriend loved. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, that's what you mean by mixed reality. That was cool.
Yep. That's
a lot of
that's
times they
the
call
AR.
augmented reality. AR is augmented. VR, virtual reality. So,
Yep.
and the virtual reality, we all know what we want. We all want the holodeck. We want the Star Trek holodeck. So that's the
Absolutely.
goal.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So, and then we got some cloud gaming. You got Xbox Game Pass, probably the most popular. And it's a game subscription library and streaming. PlayStation Plus, not as good, but pretty decent. NVIDIA, who makes graphics cards, they have their own GeForce Now. It's pure gaming, pure cloud gaming, no subscription gaming library. Amazon does one. You can get their little controller and play games from their box or their TVs. Their cloud only gaming service. Netflix games. I played one the other day. I think I played. What did we play? Pictionary just for a minute because Joe had recommended it. Mostly mobile games there, not downloadable yet.
That was so fun. Tell me you didn't have a fun time?
I did, but I only got to play it for like a minute. I was just checking it out before we left.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to check it
you.
out too. I haven't played any Netflix games.
Oh my gosh.
I noticed a little bit. I don't know if it was my Wi-Fi, but I did notice a little bit of lag between my phone and the visual on the TV.
Yeah, it's you.
We
played 3 different games and it's funny. Christine came over and we played this game. We had to figure out the murderer. And then we played Pictionary. Very fun. Just laughing like you can't imagine. Same with Boggle.
I'll have to do that. We were just looking for something at Sammy's to do, so that's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. And Boggle's like, you have to think of how many words you can make out of a square of letters. And then this chick is just so good. I don't know. Women seem to be better. I don't know. So anyway, very fun. Very fun. I don't know what you call that. You call that cloud gaming? Because when we can do it like us across on a TV, very cool.
Yeah. Well, because it depends if you're streaming it, because they're streaming that from their servers.
Right.
The game is playing on their end, and you're interacting it through with even though your phone is connected. So, but it's going round trip back to their servers. You're not downloading that onto the device.
Well, obviously, any type of shared state, right? You typically will have some kind of client. Now, I don't know how Netflix is doing it, whether they actually are downloading a client, because there's 2 different ways you can do it. You're either running code on your phone or on your local device, like a client piece, and then there's a server piece for any shared state, or they're running it all on the server and just shooting the images down like a shared terminal or a remote desktop kind of thing. So it's one of those 2 things,
I'm telling you, though.
But let me tell you something. Greg will go off on this part too, because he'll talk about how they've been talking about for years, are they going to get rid of the CDs or DVDs? Because games were always shipped on the physical media. But
Which I think is good.
Is supposed to do away with all that.
I always think there should be they should make little tiny cards or something. I think you should own the product. Like I don't like that where you don't really own the product.
They're going to get rid of it.
I am 100% in agreement. Let me give you a simple example. CDs. I still like my own CDs. Man. Same thing with books. I still I've been getting a little bit better, but I still like physical books. But I still have all my CDs, and I still buy CDs because I want to own my music.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of them. We know it. Sooner or later, it's all gone.
Well, not if anytime there's a market, because things have flip-flopped. Take vinyls. Vinyl records are supposedly coming back because there's a market for them. People say the analog is better than the digital in terms of the sound. There is now still a market for digital vinyl records.
I can't believe we pay for a subscription for everything now. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't like it either. I'm not a fan of subscriptions.
Here's just a brief summary of what most played games on consoles. Call of Duty and Fortnite on the console. Those consoles are ruled by competitive multiplayer games.
Nice pictures. I don't think Joe had one picture on his slides last week.
I did. It was.
I literally don't think there was one picture.
Single player campaigns. Sometimes they just don't even put a campaign. I just like the campaign. I like co-op campaign the most, but
I like campaigns too.
And the desktop, let's
Oh,
see.
wait, let me ask you guys a question. Have you experienced this? Sometimes, like, I haven't played that many multiplayer games, but people can be assholes. Like, if you're, especially the young kids, if you're not quick enough or you're not killing enough enemies or whatever, they will turn on you in a heartbeat. It's terrible.
That's why I don't like the games.
We don't really
You're
play
entering into,
multiplayer.
you're entering into a world where you're a newbie to people that have been playing. You gotta regulate that so that you get all your newbies together, because it's disheartening. It's not fun. You're not gonna play with someone who's at level 2,000 and you're at level 1. Woohoo! And there's
Well, like Christian said, that's why I also like the campaigns. I can go as slow as I want. I can redo it. If I die, who cares? I'll just, replay anyway.
Yeah. You just got to be careful with Christian. He thinks he can buy a good game. It might not be that good.
He always brings up like I got, because I go by reviews though. I went by some reviews and the game was awful. It was called No Way Out.
$40.
No Way
like
Out.
The
And
worst.
it was really bad, but it got rated like super high. So I'm like, why the hell? Probably because there's not that many co-op games in general where you actually, depend on each other. But the same company came out with 2 more games that were excellent.
Well, I do want to vibe code a few games. I really do. I think, Christian, I do think Roblox is a good platform. The only problem with all this stuff is it's just not trivial. Make a good game is difficult. You have to really dig in, and you're going to spend hours working on it because you see it's, depending on the type of game you have, there are a few people who hit it with simple games, but most of the time it's a big investment.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. But I mean, I think I'm just started on the Roblox myself. And I got a book for Valerie too, because they have kids. Kids are getting into with the Roblox because it's so popular.
Right.
So I don't know. It's cool.
I think it's a good thing, and it's a good thing to learn, even if you do just a simple game. I think the way you start is you try to pick a very simple game, something with words or puzzles or something.
Yeah.
Or like you said, even something simple like a tiny little zoo game where you get to take care of a few animals or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and the way that they have their Roblox studio set up is kind of cool. I'm sure it's similar to some of the other ones, but how they have everything is broken down pretty nicely and neatly, and things you can just throw stuff in the environment, and then the physics automatically, and it's basically just checking off like properties in a checkbox list,
Yeah, I was impressed with the Roblox studio environment. It's pretty good. I haven't seen too many others. Like, I don't know how Unreal is. Unreal Engine is probably the #1 engine.
Yep.
In fact, there's good. I mean, obviously, if you really want to go scratch, like just as an example, let's say you want to do something impressive. And like I was telling you, Christian, the real key thing is, first of all, most people are excited to start something, but they don't follow through. That's the biggest problem. But let's take something like, if you really want something impressive, it's got to be something hard to do. Just as an example, let's say you look at the existing game engines like Unreal Engine, and you say, oh, look at the physics in that. The physics stink. Look at the materials. They don't destroy like real materials. Destructibility, right? That's a big deal now. Well, if you're a physics expert or you really want to dig into the math and the modeling, you can do it. It's just not trivial, and you've got to know the advanced math of all the physics.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
Well, then we look at Candy Crush, which I've never played in my life, but I mean, I don't even understand it. How is that even appealing? I mean, might as well be playing tic-tac-toe. I mean, to me, what are you matching colors?
Sort of like gamble. To me, it seems like a gambling game, but we're going to get there. So desktop PC gaming flavors mastery and long-term skill investment. That's why they like these League of Legends. It's like a strategy game. And then Counter-Strike 2 has been around. Counter-Strike and Counter-Strike 2 has been around for like decades, like 2 decades. People become like these expert shooters. It's like a shoot 'em up game, like a Call of Duty game.
I think Counter-Strike may be a Valve game.
It might be. I'd have to look that up. And then on mobile, it's like comfort games and then scaled down hardcore experiences. Like Pug Mobile is just like Call of Duty, but for mobile. But the Candy Crush is kind of addicting because you keep on getting rewards. You know, they hit that dopamine perfectly. It's like every time, you know, the screen lights up, yay, and then, you know, more candy falls down. It's exciting.
I think it's sort of, they call that the casual gamer, right? It's a different type of person. It's not every one of these is kind of a different type of gamer. People go on this up, it's just to kill time. They're on the can. They want something that gives them that little quick dopamine hit. So you're right. So they play some. I never played Candy Crush either, but I'm sure it's something like that. You know,
I do Duolingo. I'm learning a language.
Nice. How many days in a row you got? You got like 500 now by now, right? 600.
473.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not near the top. There's like 3,600. There's
Wow.
people have been doing this for 10 years.
Holy snap.
But yo comprendo español.
Muy caliente.
what is Duolingo? Is that, it's not a game?
No, it's a free. You
Well,
learn
it's sort of like a
languages.
learning game. There is like there's like tasks, and they
Not a
present
game.
you.
It's not a game.
Right.
Would you consider that a game?
But they make it game-like in that there's quizzes and stuff, and there's
right. There is the whole phenomenon. I think
it's
you're
sort
talking
of
about.
like it's gamified. It's at least gamified.
Gamification is a big deal, right?
And then I just put this. I added this because of my kids, just to see what, you know. They say that the prefrontal cortex impulse control planning is still developing. So heavy gaming before this region matures can reduce self-regulation if not balanced, increase emotional reactivity. However, moderate structured play improves visual spatial skills, supports social bonding, especially cooperative games. And then some positive, generally positive with limits, is puzzle games, strategy, city builders, cooperative multiplayer, creative sandbox games like Minecraft. I stick with like Nintendo, and honestly, I get the Switch too, and the games are fun and they're non-violent. Everything now you see, obviously, it's like mostly like violent, really, or leaning toward. I mean, obviously, Candy Crush would be the exception, but those fun little games like that are not a big deal. But most games are usually you're attacking someone or with a sword or freaking guns. And then the last quote is, video games are not teaching the brain what to think, but how to respond to reward, challenge, and effort. The future impact depends on what else we ask our brain to practice.
So who's that quote from?
ChatGPT.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It just said that should be the final whatever. I don't know. Probably meshed that up from other people.
I would wonder, though, first of all, just two quick points on this. I do think the social aspect is interesting, right? I mean, when you're there with the headsets and you're talking to other players, you know, there is a social aspect to it, which I think is generally a good thing. And it is, and obviously, as we all know, it can be fairly immersive, which is also fun. So, but I wonder on the negative side, the effect on, like me and Lynn are watching Stranger Things, and of course it's the 80s, and all the kids are riding their bikes and they're taking their bikes everywhere. And she's like, nobody rides bikes anymore. In other words, the games have definitely had a negative effect on kids playing outside.
Absolutely. Yep. Now kids ride those electric bikes too. I'm like, how lazy are you that you're a kid? You're a 10-year-old kid with an electric bike. I mean, why would your parents buy you that? They just don't want any exercise.
Yeah, I think it's, I think it's a two-way street. Like in that the kids are going, but Johnny's got one, right? And then the parents don't have the backbone to go, I don't care what Johnny's got. You're gonna pedal.
Yeah.
I played with Christian on this game in the virtual world, and there was a lady and a kid. A kid destroyed the entire game. I mean, he was like doing stupid things. I don't know how old he was, maybe like 12. I mean, you can't tell. You only can tell he was a kid. The other one was a lady. I don't know how old she was. But obviously more mature. We were playing some game that was like shooting things, and and they had like we were newbies, and the woman was being pretty cool, like trying to teach us, but the kid was like constantly throwing out things and blowing up things, and it's like, no, you're supposed to do it like that. Blah, 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 blah. It was like, it ruined the whole game. Like I don't know how the sociability. It's like again,
that was
if you're
on
not
the MetaQuest, the MetaQuest 3. That was on the MetaQuest, right?
you got to control that, or I guess you just kick them out and you wait until you can find someone reasonable, or they curse too much, or I mean, it's you're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, and there are sadly predators that prey on these platforms, whether it's Roblox or these gaming ones, Minecraft, any of these multiplayer ones. As a parent, I didn't have to worry about this because my kids got seriously into gaming again when they were teenagers. But as a parent, you got to worry about the policing of predators online.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much it. That was it. That was the end.
Good one. Excellent topic. That was fun.
We thought maybe it was just sort of rating score or something.
Joe, you don't want to get that rating.
C plus.
Joe's the Russian judge over here.
The pictures were they were a little fuzzy and cloudy. I couldn't really make them out. I'm sort of against pictures in the.
But I think that was I think you had a good idea with the voting thing. I didn't really look into it, or even we could have maybe ChatGPT do a random subjects, because it is hard to come up with subjects. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
I can lend you some. I got about 80. Every time I think of a subject, I put it in my notes. So I got. I mean, there's so many you can do. But I do think it's good to kind of like do a fun one, do a serious one, because you could do fun ones and serious ones. You could rotate between different things that are interesting, right? And then of course there's how-tos. If you're doing something interesting, take a video of it. We'll pop that up there too.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
If you're doing an interesting project, because some of this is for us and some of it's for. We'll see if we can build an audience. If not, whatever. Yeah. I think it's fun.
Absolutely.
I still think your kids down the road, like, look at our wackadoo dads. Man, look at him. He was bald. I didn't know he was bald. All his pictures showed.
Wait, what's the matter with being bald?
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
I got a new hat on. You like this hat?
Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, whoa. Finally embracing the truth. Ooh. Like that.
I'm all about the truth.
That's good.
All right, gentlemen. Well, have a great.
Arrivederci.